Hey guys, Pretzel here, welcome back to another video. In this video, I will be reviewing my custom Neca Snow Godzilla that I have, of course, created because it's a custom. Now, if you don't know, the incarnation of Snow Godzilla that was featured as a cameo in a anime film that I still don't know the name of, has inspired me to make my own because I was wanting to re-customize this figure, or repaint, I guess you could say, because I didn't like the repaint that was on the figure already. To give a description of what the other repaint was, which I did make into a video that's like all the way, one of my older videos. Maybe I'll find it and put it in the link in the description below so you guys can look at it if you want. Though, be wary, it is probably a very cringy video. But anyways, the dorsal fins were all yellow, the skin was green, and the eyes were red, and I decided to keep the eyes because I think it looked cool. And the nails were all yellow, the teeth was yellow, and the toes were yellow, and that was basically it. So what I used is, I'll just grab one of the paints. I used Apple Barrel. I would say that these are the best paints for action figures. There might be other ones, but that's just my personal favorite that I recently only just started using, and I really like the use of them. Though I would not put the figure in water because it does appear that these are washable paint. So if you put it in water, it'll probably wash the paint off. Duh. But what I did is, of course, I painted the dorsal fins blue. And also, if you couldn't tell, I did something here. I'll get more to that here in a second. But I think the dorsal fins were probably my favorite part. I thought it was kind of fun going through each dorsal fin and trying not to mess up and get it in the skin. As you can, you can't really tell because it's a bit bright, but there's like no blue on where it's like in between the dorsal fins, which I gotta give myself some credit here. I think that was a pretty good job, especially for me, who's a pretty sloppy painter. But I thought it was pretty fun to do that. And then what I did with the Godzilla, the whole figure, I just repainted it black and then did some dry brushing with white, and I think it came out pretty good. Some areas the white is a bit clunky, but it's not the worst thing I've made. It's definitely not the worst. And since the Snow Godzilla has an atomic breath, I decided to repaint one of my atomic breaths. There we go. Maybe get the shadow on it so the light's not making it super bright. Since this atomic breath has been used for multiple Godzilla figures as an accessory, I just decided to might as well just repaint it and use it for this figure. Though it doesn't really fit in too well because this figure doesn't have an atomic breath. Though you can use it, but it'll just kind of sag a little bit. Though this figure isn't accurate to the design 100%. Or not at all, really, though it is based off it. The obvious differences from the actual design in this is the red eyes and the fact that this has 4 fingers and that Godzilla has 5 fingers. And, there's of course some other differences, but I think I did a pretty good job. I'd like to know what you guys think. If I did terrible and you hate it, or if you think I did a pretty good job and, make me feel good. Please, make me feel good. No, that just sounds wrong. I wish I could edit out stuff because I would probably not edit out. Oh yeah, and I also want to talk about this. So, this is, of course, the old Neca Godzilla 1995 figure, and this is when Neca had the bendy wires and the tails. I really, really do not like the bendy wires, so I wanted to test myself on adding an articulation to the figure, because I've never done it before, and I want to try it out, see how it was. Though I would assume doing it to other figures would be a lot more easier than doing it here, because oh my gosh, this was a pain in the butt. The freaking do, because I had to remove the the bendy wire out of the tail, and it was so in there. The part that was in this part of the tail was pretty easy to get out, but this part was so difficult. Luckily, I was able to get some help from my padre, and and I used an old joint from an old figure that I had that I never used, because the head, which is this joint, this is the head joint for that figure, I could never get the head back on, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to steal your head joint and I'm going to use it for this. Though, unfortunately, the articulation is pretty limited on it. You know, it doesn't really move too much. I mean, it moves, but it's definitely not what I was hoping for. But it's as good as it gets. I think, personally, it still beats the bendy wire, even though it's worse than the bendy wire. But that's just me. But yeah, that's it. That's the review. The articulation is basically just the same as the other, just the original Neca Godzilla 1995. But just with an added articulation. That's the only difference in the articulation. Just new articulation. But yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will have another video out that is another custom figure review, and I like that one better than this one. Just personal saying. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.